Sorry, I let him escape.
No, thank you. You saved us.
You owe me one, then. It's been 80 years, hasn't it, Jin?
You know me?
You and Ornelia used to ride on my back. We used to have a lark flying about.
Ornelia? From the photograph?
And I suppose she's your driver now?
My name's Laura. I've been with Jin for 17 years already.
I never. You were fortunate to be picked up by her, Jin.
Uncle, we're just in the way here. Perhaps we should leave it to the soldiers and just go.
Yes, let's do that. Shall we head for the Tornan Womb?
Yes, I'd say we're bound to.
The Tornan Womb?
Perhaps I should go first.
Please, go ahead. We will join you once we've made a report to the king.
Welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torn of the Golden Country. Now we go to make our report. Lord Adam, to think the Tornan Seal would fall into the Aegis's hands. It was even scarier than I thought. I was no match for someone that evil. There's no way I could have stopped him attacking the city. But I'll still regret it to my dying day. Oh, I'm sorry. You must have come to report to the king, and now I've held you up with my chatter. I won't hold you up any longer.
What good was your militia? They could not halt Malos, nor even safeguard the seal from his clutches.
I have no excuses.
Adam.
Majesty, this is a deep dishonor. I beseech you to lay them low, that the people may have faith in government. Majesty!
Brother, your advice is wise.
Your Majesty.
Please, wait a moment. Adam only sought to protect your realm.
Silence! Is your voice more important than the king's?
But what of you, Zeta?
What of me?
Look first to yourself, I bid you.
What do you mean?
Surely Adam sailed the ship into a rocky reef. But if he were the bow, you were the stern.
Your Majesty, those are bitter words. It was Adam's vanguard that let slip Malos.
Would our army have succeeded with certainty, brother? In the hour of need, where were they?
We set the defense of the people as our highest goal, Your Majesty. Our soldiers guided the townsfolk to safety.
While Adam's militia flew, though rashly, into the breach, and the brave dragoons of noble Hugo wagered their lives as mere trifles for our nation's sake.
But
It unfolded thus. If honor took its natural course, the sons of Torna should have stood their ground. Mark their honor above their frailty. You saw the battle with your own eyes, did you not, my brother?
I did.
And how did you think it?
Words can scarcely describe it. It was unlike any mere human struggle. I fear I could not report it justly.
Indeed, brother. It was a fight beyond our ken. I, too, saw it with my own eyes. Our Tornan crafts of war would have been doubly doomed against Malos.
That's...
Is it not folly to assume that our army could do what Adam's could not?
Your Majesty.
Noble Hugo, my brother forgets grace and gratitude. Our nation hangs over doom like a ripened fruit. You and yours are our final ray of hope. will you offer us aid again, to avenge ourselves on the Aegis?
We came with that very intention, Your Majesty. Didn't we, Prince Adam?
Yes. Majesty, if it must be so, I will expend my life for the future of the land of my forefathers.
While we're here, your name is Laura, is it not?
Me? Yes.
Your work impressed me deeply.
No,
Yet you are no knight, bear no peerage.
Yes. I'm from a settlement in the distant borderlands. I serve with a mercenary band.
I knew you for a warrior. Good Laura. I would like to recognize your valiant labors. The title of Knight of the Realm, it is yours, if you would accept it.
Me? A knight?
Laura, my congratulations.
I can hardly believe it. Me?
Come now. A title is a mere decoration. Surely you learned that from me.
I hope it will raise your spirits a little, Laura.
Humble Laura, I have a request I must make of you. This day, the people of our nation shiver in the darkest of shadows cast by mighty Malos. But I bid that you seed a flower of hope in this shadow-mired land.
I hope that I can. Your Majesty, I'll do my best.
Well spoken, brave Laura. We shall anoint thee as Lady Laura tomorrow in the plaza before the palace.
Come on, we shouldn't keep our old friend waiting any longer. Time for us to make a move. The Tornin womb, he said. So is that going to be inside the Titan's belly? You'll know soon enough. This isn't the time for games, you know. It would have to be a cavity of considerable size for a Zerda to fit inside. It would. We should head for the front entrance and turn left. That way we'll come to a back gate. If we head down past there, it should take us to the womb's entrance. Okay, we'd better catch up to a Zerda then. You can gain community from people with yellow icons above their head by just talking to them. You don't have to complete a quest. If you see the same icon as someone's face on the community menu, you can select them and press Y to add their location to the compass. A nice little tool for that. It's usually not too important. Minoth has learned the capital under fire. More importantly, the king has entrusted us to become the heroes of legend. Let's not let him down and get Laura ready to be knighted. That's what's happening today.
Polish up the structure.
Increased damage dealt by specials and a damage barrier.
And fun.
I've seen worse. And I've also seen a fireside chat. Hey, Master Adam, where's this Torna's womb place? If you pass through the main gate of Oresco and head right, there's a back gate, do you know it? Beyond there lies the womb. The Zerda is waiting for us there? Yes. Nuncle is far too big to be in the city without causing a disturbance. Yeah, everyone would run a mile with that monster hanging around. Now, Milton, if you'd say that to a Zerda's face, he'd probably burn you to a crisp with elemental fire. What? Don't worry, Milton. He may look scary, but he's a soft old soul, really. Well, isn't that lucky for you, young man? Right. Let's go see him then? Fireside chats are used to develop Milton and Mikhail a lot more as characters, and it's kind of a shame that a lot of them are so obscure that we haven't seen them. I'm aware of 5 so far that I missed because of tiny little story beats. I feel like I checked pretty much every opportunity that I could have.
What a pleasant stroll.
It's kind of nuts just how much there is to see. The city remains damaged. There's still a lot of rubble everywhere, and the layout has changed a little bit. Elderly Potter. It's always hard to say goodbye to another living being, especially if they go before their time. But it's important to remember the time they lived. That doesn't go away just because it had to end. I trust in the teachings of Indal, which tell us that all souls will be saved. So death may be hard, but it's not all about despair. There's salvation to be found even in the worst times. We just have to pray that we will find the path of salvation soon rather than later. I have so many things I want to say, and I was trying to find a tactful way to say this. But all I really could think of was, gosh, I wonder what she's going to think of when Indal itself, like, brings her life to an end. Just right in front of her face. Here's that song again. For a moment I wasn't sure what would happen, but then I realized that's exactly when you need music most. In desperate times, music has the power to transcend words and speak to the heart. I'm not strong enough to shift rubble, but I can use music to lift the weights of sorrow from people's hearts. If my music could ease the weight in my dearest Sarah's heart, oh, what a happy man I would be then. I always knew he was a bit touched in the head, but I didn't think Leo's willpower went this far. When Malice came a knockin', though, I thought I would die right then and there. Not him, though. He said it was times like these when music is most important and we couldn't just stand idly by. Everything was a blur after that. We helped people running about like headless chickens trying to escape. We're still trying to help in our own way, performing for scared, crying kids and worried people. We probably don't go through most of them, but what got through to me more than anything else was Leo's courage. I lived through a great disaster in my life, and I remember that everyone was just super close together like a community. You guys are lucky. It's obvious why to have met a good fortune people. Oh my gosh. Some info to tickle your eardrums. Have you ever seen stone tablets strewn about Torna? Rumor has it, whoever collects them all can have any wish they want granted, or even bring back the dead. If you perhaps manage to collect them all, you'll end up with even more good luck. Well, I have no need for such things, being a pro adventurer and all. Yes, me. Well, we're gonna have a much need for bringing back the dead, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I was saying that people were all together as a community. A lot of things that split people apart were just non-existent. It really brought out the best in people. And I remember thinking that was kind of beautiful in a way where I wish it didn't take something so horrible to bring that out in people, but, you know, when push comes to shove, they are generally good, and I've witnessed that in my life. I think it did kind of give me a more optimistic view of humanity as a whole. The warehouse was damaged too, but thankfully more than half of the stuff inside was fine. Now, following a decree from the king, we're getting ready to give out food and medicines to the whole country. I'd normally a little lazy, but now I'm all fired up to help save the people. I just love this country so much. Aww. He's trying so hard. Oresco rear gate. Aw, it's not called the mode gate after all.
What have we got here?
A long, long time ago, I remembered. I told you to remember. I remembered to tell you to look for a pathway that would take you to this cliff that had that great big old chest on it that was impossible to collect before. Jin using his mineralogy there. Wow, a lot of good stuff. And this treasure trove is ours at last. Affinity Max Evade 2 and Spike Defense. At least one of those is good. I'm giving you 1 second to know what's Affinity Max Evade. You have been listening to me talk about this game for long enough and you've presumably playing it along for so long. I would be ashamed if you didn't know which one was good off the top of your head because wow. We have been through so much, we have come so far. This journey is the biggest one that we've ever been on, you and me. And it's coming to a close very soon. Malice has already declared that it's the end.
Well, here we are.
I say we rest.
What an incredible place.
It's the matrix of our Titan.
What does...
When the time comes, this is where blades come to be reborn as Titans.
You mean we'll all become Titans someday?
It's nice to be here again. After 800 years.
Were you born here too, Azurda?
After all, I was a blade born from the Tornan Titan. Of course, I don't have any memories of that time. Once a blade becomes a Titan, they can live without being bound to the driver who awoke them. One day, they may come to watch over their children as the very ground beneath their feet.
And the fleeting bonds become eternal. It's the basis of the Tornan Creed.
Eternal bonds.
So, what now?
Malice said he was going to wait.
But can we really believe him?
I don't think he lied.
Why so?
He was enjoying himself. That's why. I'd say he's having way too much fun to stop right now.
He said that humans long for death.
And that he was happy to oblige.
Benevolent servant.
So, any plans for the rest of the day? You've got your awards ceremony tomorrow. Best not to get carried away. Oh, right. Jin's got a point. You can take a walk around town if you like, but in all honesty, you're better off standing by the inn. Yes, we don't know when we might be next called upon. So no one's in the mood to go out. Well, I don't blame them. Am I the only one nervous about the award ceremony? I don't even know what to wear. You only have one set of clothes, Laura. Cool down. There's no challenge side mode with lots of costumes that you gotta pick between. Trust me, I've been there, and it's way more difficult than you think it is. There's a lot of pressure on you to wear the right costumes. If we go back inside, Azurta is now talk-to-able normally. This place takes me back. I was born here as a blade, though not much has changed in 800 years. Still, there are signs that Torna has flourished. Yep, him too. Isn't he cute? Azurta is notable because he is the only speaking Titan that we have ever run across. By all accounts, if Titans come from blades, they should have the knowledge in their cores to be able to do it. But he's the only one. Adam and friends, I hope you're uninjured. Those gargoyle things are pretty terrifying if you hadn't been there. Well, it doesn't bear thinking about. I may have taken a good hit on the old legs, but there are others who suffered even more. I hope I get better soon so I can get back to my life. I'd like to point out, first indoor location! But there's no enemies, so your indoor attack up still does nothing. Since the battle against Malos, several quests have opened up that we could technically go do right now. But I would advise not. Instead, we're gonna just talk to a few townspeople, head toward the inn. The attacks filled us with a sense of overwhelming gloom and despair. So to help cheer us up, Leo and Azar, the traveling performers, gave us a splendid show. They swept from familiar songs of Torna straight into songs from strange lands. It touched my old heart, it did. While I was listening to their music, all thoughts of monsters or the attack flew clean out of my head. I'm sure it was because the performers were able to share their love of music with us. It brought us all together. Their performance helped me remember the incredible unifying power of music. I'd like to listen to them play again someday so that I can appreciate their skill one more time. It's just like the band playing on the Titanic as it sunk. The arms have calmed down now. Tika was worried, so she came out to have a look at it for herself. She was trying to look all calm and controlled, but she was just putting it on. She was in a right tiz, really. I can always tell. She can't look me in the eyes and she's like that. Hey, speaking of looking at things in the eyes, I saw you guys fighting the other day. Awesome! You look so cool! You just bashed them up like pow and sock! It was a real buzz to watch. I was planning to be in a driver instead of an Armu experiments. Maybe I can get one of them to be a blade. This kid is making flesh eaters out of Armus. Dad seemed pretty busy with the people from the Chamber of Commerce at the moment. I've got to do my bit here, pulling the customers in. That's my lookout. It's not so bad, though, with Joey around. Budding romance. We've earned a little rest.
Hey, Jen. That mask. You don't need it anymore.
Yeah. Since you're a Knight of Torna now, there's no danger of getting in trouble for resonating with a stolen core.
What should we do with that?
Nothing, I think. I think I'll keep wearing it. You went to all the trouble of making it for me.
Yeah. I mean...
Huh?
Someday I'll die, and just like that you'll return to your crystal. Even if you forget everybody, at least you might be able to keep the mask that I made you.
Laura.
But I imagine that day's still a long way off, so don't worry.
If I were a praying man, I'd pray this journal finds its way to you. Trusting that it will, I will use these last words to pass down a means of carving the bond between myself and my partner into this flesh. This is how it is done.
So, I'm officially a Tornan driver now. Okay, let's make some memories.
Adam's star is rising. It seems that the people love him.
And naught but the fruit of the king's whimsy and an obscure woman.
Ah.
Yet if only he were not the driver of the Aegis.
You'd each have your just share of dignity.
Questor, is it really true that...
Certainly, I did give life to Malos, but when he acts, it's divine will.
The destruction of the world is the will of the divine?
Indeed it is. Malos is the instrument of destruction. Making the architect's will imminent takes many able hands.
It may be this is exactly what they wanted. Become Titans. Have a longer life with humans. Huh?
Oh, nothing. I was just remembering the previous time you said that.
I did?
My reply was, "How about you?" And what do you think you said?
I don't wish for forever. All I want is my life with her. That's plenty.
Ah. Spoken like a true blade. No one can begrudge you that.
I wonder how it was for you.
Well, honestly, I suppose I may well have been just like you, Jin. Still,
Still?
being like this isn't so bad either. After some years, or centuries, you find yourself ready for new relationships. I came to realize that.
New relationships.